Check. Still have to do that.
Hey, glad you stopped in. You gotta listen to this.
If it concerns something ghostly, I'd rather not.
No problem. What's up?
Are you by any chance missing a small digital thermometer?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I'd packed them in, that one over there, I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one?
Because Tino Balducci found it by the emergency brake handle when he was dusting it for fingerprints, and now he thinks you're the one who pulled it.
That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake.
Is it true that your show is in danger of being canceled?
Newsflash, my show was canceled. Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions?
Were you in this room the whole time prior to that emergency brake thing?
Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No.
Thanks for the chat.
Pleasure talking to you.
That looks just like the stuff John Gray has his thermometers packed in.
What's going on?
You're the one who pulled that emergency brake, aren't you?
Me? What, are you joking?
Care to explain how packing material from the box those thermometers were in wound up on the floor over there?
You're just some teenage nobody. I don't have to listen to this.
You're right, you don't. Neither do the other passengers. But unless you give me a good reason not to, I think I'll tell them anyway.
Look, maybe I was a little hasty, pointing a finger at the ghost guy like that. Maybe all those lies people have been spreading are starting to get to me. Maybe I thought it would help if I got a little positive press by solving a crime aboard a haunted train. Maybe I apologize. And, maybe you can see fit not to let any of this go beyond this room?
Well, no harm done, I guess.
Great. Well, what else can I do for you?
Thanks for your help.
Helping people is what I'm all about.
I'm done with that. Check. Check. I'm done with that. Check. Finish that. I'm done with that. Guess Camille liked to collect dolls. Wonder how you're supposed to get this open. Darn, the name of the shoes is so faded I can't tell what it is. Maybe Bess and George can help me figure out who made them.
Hello?
Hi, Bess.
Hey, what's going on?
The name of the company that made Jake's wife's dancing shoes is too faded to read, but to find Jake's mine, I need to know what it is.
Hey, I know what you can do. Take a picture of them with your cell phone, then send it to us, and we'll check them out for you.
But I thought you guys had to paint Bess's room.
Boring. Besides, we're going to have to take a break soon because we're almost out of paint. Probably because Bess has gotten more on me than she has on the wall. Anyway, send us a picture of the shoes via cell phone and we'll get right on it.
Ah, you guys are the greatest.
I know. Need anything else?
I discovered this cabinet full of old dolls in the caboose.
Old dolls make my skin crawl. Whose were they?
They belonged to Jake's wife, Camille. Jake mentioned them in his letter to his niece.
They could have been Jake's, you know. I mean, they never had a child of their own, right? So maybe after Camille died, he went a little bonkers. Oh, Bess. Hey, I'm just trying to think outside the box here, okay? Something it wouldn't hurt you to do from time to time, little Miss No Imagination. You know, maybe I'll just put this paintbrush down, walk out that door, and let you do this all by yourself. No! You've got to keep painting. If I don't get this done by tomorrow, I'll be grounded for a month. I was just kidding about your imagination. It's wonderful. You're wonderful. Very, very wonderful. That's more like it.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. Well, George, back to work.
More questions?
Would you like to see the letter that Lori gave me as a reward for finding her?
The one in which Jake Hurley supposedly tells his niece how to find his lost mine? No, thank you. I happily leave it to you to try to solve the mystery of his disappearance. You can afford to look foolish, dear. I can't.
Were you able to find the name of Jake's train engineer?
I came across 3 references to the fact that Jake had an engineer, but I'm afraid none of them included his name. I failed. Sorry.
Aren't you even going to try finding out what happened to Jake Hurley?
No time. The only reason I haven't insisted that Lori release me from all this silliness is there's always the possibility that what happened to him has the makings of a bestseller, although I highly doubt it.
Why are you so sure that Jake's story wouldn't make a bestseller?
His story is an all too common one. A man wanders off into the desert in search of gold and never returns. Why? He either doesn't have enough food or water, or he encounters hostile natives.
What about his wife, Camille, dying on the train like that?
That does make the story a little more interesting. She probably died of something mundane like pneumonia or even measles. Now, if it was wintertime when she died, and they were in the mountains, Jake no doubt kept her body on the train for months before he buried her, which is rather delicious in a morbid sort of way.
How do you think Jake's engineer wound up dead on the train in the middle of nowhere?
My guess is the engineer got tired of waiting for Jake to return, took off in the train to get help, and died of a heart attack along the way, after which the train rolled to a stop in Blue Moon Canyon. Anyone experienced enough to single-handedly run a steam engine would have been quite a bit older than Jake.
Well, I'll let you go.
All right, then.
Nancy, you missed it.
Missed what?
The argument of the century.
Joe, he's exaggerating.
Aw, come on, you heard them. They were ready to tear each other to shreds.
Who?
Charlena and Lori.
All we heard was the tail end of it, and unfortunately we really couldn't make out what they were saying.
So you don't know what they were arguing about?
No,
But whatever it was, both of them were absolutely out of their minds, livid.
and it would probably be a good idea to find out why.
Let me look into it. I'll talk to you later, okay?
You know where to find us.
Engineer, this better be Miss Gerard.
Well, actually,
Forget it.
More questions?
what were you and Lori arguing about earlier today?
Lori and I? We weren't arguing. We were simply discussing a topic about which both of us are passionate, that's all.
You weren't angry?
No. And even if we were, that's really none of your business. I know that sounds harsh, but really, Nancy, eavesdropping is so tacky.
Actually, it was Frank and Joe Hardy who overheard you. They said I should talk to you before they gave me all the gory details, but since you obviously don't want to tell me your side of the story, I'll just have to get the scoop from them.
No, you don't have to do that. A storyline that Lori submitted to me found its way into my last book, despite the fact that she never received compensation for it. She's reading the book now, and when she got to that part, she freaked.
You stole one of her ideas?
She had no business sending me unsolicited material. But technically, yes. Now, legally, she can't prove anything, and I'm certainly not about to admit anything, and it's not as if she needs the money. But that's what we were arguing about. For what it's worth, I'm going to talk to this producer I know to see if he'll cast Lori in his next movie. It'll help ease my conscience, and who knows? She could wind up being a star. I mean, she is blonde.
Well, I'll let you go.
My publisher thanks you.
Hello?
Me again. Just checking to see whether you were able to find out the name of those dancing shoes yet.
Your wish is our command, but hang on to your hat. The name is a real mouthful. The shoes were made by Chaussette Chateauyantes, Chaussettetes, Chatoyantes. That's French for shimmering socks. Apparently, if you were into dancing in the 1870s, that was the company to get your shoes from.
Chaussette Chateauyantes. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for letting us help.
Charlena and Lori had this big, huge argument, and you'll never guess why.
Lori called Charlena a hack.
No.
Charlena called Lori an airhead.
No.
Bess, she doesn't really want you to guess, okay? Tell us, Nan.
Well, it seems that Lori sent Charlena a bunch of story ideas, one of which Charlena used in her latest book without telling or paying Lori.
Charlena stole something Lori wrote? That's incredible. No, the fact that Lori wrote something that Charlena thought was worth stealing. That's what's incredible.
It makes me think that Charlena is a lot more devious than she appears.
Yeah, better keep an eye on her, Nan.
I better go.
Okay.
Finish that. Check. I'm done with that. Finish that. Thomasina O'Neill. Teddy Eberhardt. Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new, it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue. Sadie Crawford. Camille with Hager Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard. Eliza Sandberger. I'm done with that. With any luck, I just opened the stove in the dining car. James Thurston.
Hey, how's it going?
I think I know the name of Jake Hurley's engineer. James Thurston.
Great! What else do you know about him?
Well, nothing.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, finding out more about him will give us something to do. We'll look into it.
See you soon.
If you need anything, just let us know.
Yes? I hear that Tino and you used to be an item.
How did you know that?
I'm a good detective, remember?
We went out a couple of times, yeah. As for why we stopped going out, you'd have to ask him.
I'll come back later.
Keep me posted!
What's going on?
How come you told me you and Lori never went out, and she told me you did?
Don't you ever stop asking questions?
When people start answering them honestly, I do.
I dumped her, okay? I'm not proud of what I did. I'm not happy about what I did, but it's done. It's over. Now let's drop it.
If you didn't want to dump her, why did you?
You are incredibly irritating, you know that? I dumped her because people said going out with her would make me look bad. Said she was a joke, that no one took her seriously. Said if I started hanging with her, no one would take me seriously. So I stopped calling.
But you didn't stop caring.
No. Now take a powder. I don't feel like talking anymore.
Hey, how's it going?
Were you able to find anything out about Jake's engineer, that James Thurston guy?
Good news and bad news. The good news is he had a wife in Copper Gorge, so he may have had children.
The bad news is our internet service provider stopped providing before we could use our cell phones to find out anything else.
That's okay. We can do more checking when we get to Copper Gorge.
Right.
Hey there! Welcome to Buell's Old Time Taffy House. Come on over here. Welcome, stranger. Listen, you by any chance get here on that private train what's parked out yonder?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did.
There's a rumor going around that Charlena Purcell's on board. Is that true?
As a matter of fact, yes, it is.
Hot dang if that don't beat all. I've read every single book that gal's ever written. Best writer whatever lived. Did she get off the train too?
I don't think so. She's pretty busy.
Charlena Purcell herself right here in Copper Gorge, breathing the same air as me. Hot dang! Well, welcome, little missy. Go on in and take a gander at what life was like during the heyday of Copper Gorge whilst you sample some of our delicious homemade saltwater taffy.
So this is some kind of museum?
Why, it's the best kind of museum, sister. It's free. You can gape and gawk and ooh and ah to your heart's content. Least you can till I close up.
Are you Buell?
Do I sound like a Buell to you?
Sorry, the costume kinda, threw me off.
Oh, right. Sometimes I forget I'm wearing this thing. Buell was my great-great-uncle. This building used to be his general store. During the glory days back in the 1880s, he commenced a pawnbrokering. So the miners Copper Gorge was crawling with back then could raise some cash to pay for grub and tools and such. But pretty soon, the mining boom went bust. And there was Uncle Buell, stuck with a whole store full of junk. Only it wasn't junk to him. Debris from lost lives and broken dreams, is what he called it. Couldn't bring himself to get rid of it. So he passed it on to his kin. My great-granddaddy's the one who come up with the idea of turning the place into a tourist attraction.
And you make money by selling taffy?
Tourists just love taffy, especially when you dangle a free sample in front of them to get them hooked. Of course, it ain't really free. Some taffy on a stick'll cost you 2 tokens, which you can get by winning both those games over there.
How much does it cost to play them?
Well, ain't you the little penny pincher? Fact of the matter is they're free. Less you go messing with the artifacts I got in here. Do that and you'll be headfirst in the nearest snowdrift before you know what hit you.
Do you by any chance have any of Jake Hurley's things in here?
Jake who?
Hurley. He was a miner. I think he may have left a lamp and a pickaxe with your great-great-uncle.
Never heard of him. Of course, that don't mean his stuff's not here. Just means you're just gonna have to look around and see for yourself. But remember, Susie Q, don't touch.
It was fun talking to you.
Ditto, little missy.